Hi, Alice. I have a book for you for your birthday, and I carried it with me in my backpack all the way up over 10,000 feet, and I'm going to read it to you. I got this book in a store called the Fire Hole, and it was in West Yellowstone, a little city. The book is called Up the Creek by Nicholas Oldland. I'll give you a little view of where I'm at, and then we'll read the book. So this is where I'm gonna sit down. I'm actually gonna eat my lunch. I have some of my gear out that got a little damp last night. That's gonna be drying off. Very pretty, but my favorite view is in that direction. All right, let's read this story. Up the Creek. There once was a bear, a moose, and a beaver who were the best of friends, though they often disagreed. One sunny day, the bear, the moose, and the beaver decided to go canoeing. The moose wanted to steer, but so did the bear and the beaver. They all sat in the stern. The stern is the back of the canoe. With so much weight in the back of the canoe, it tipped, and they ended up in the water. So they played eeny, meeny, miny, moe, and it was decided that the moose would steer. They all settled back into the canoe and began to paddle. Catch a tiger by the toe, if he hollers, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. The bear insisted on paddling port side, but the beaver and the moose also preferred the left. With everyone paddling on the same side, they traveled in circles. Soon their arms grew tired, so they began to switch sides. That's when they finally started to travel in a straight line. But just as they began to make progress, they came to a stop at a beaver dam. They all had different ideas as how to get across. The beaver wanted to push the canoe, but that didn't work. The moose thought they should pull the canoe. That didn't work either. Fortunately, the bear figured it out. The only way across was to portage. To portage means you carry your canoe. Back in the water, the bear, the moose, and the beaver settled into a rhythm and started to really enjoy paddling along the river. But it wasn't long before they began to argue. They argued so loudly that they didn't notice the current growing stronger or the quiet rumbling in the distance. Stop splashing! Keep paddling! I'm hungry! Until it was too late, the river had turned into a wild whitewater rapids. Ah! Thrown sideways, underwater, through the air, and everywhere, the bear, the moose, and the beaver held on for their lives. Exhausted, bruised, and wet, the three friends landed on a rock in the middle of the rapids. The moose wanted to burn the canoe to make a signal fire. The bear wanted to throw the beaver to shore to get help. The beaver figured swimming to shore would be safer. They argued over whose plan was the best well into the night. The next morning, it dawned on the bear, the moose, and the beaver that they would have to work together to make it home safely. "We can do it!" So they climbed into their battered canoe, took a deep breath, and ran the rapids. They twisted, leaped, crashed, and blasted through the water. The rapids were fierce, but with the bear's powerful strokes, the moose's steady hoof, and the beaver's clever commands, they set a true, clear course. At last, the bear, the moose, and the beaver made it to shore. After a much-needed nap, the bear, the moose, and the beaver worked together to repair the canoe paddles, catch some fish, and cook lunch. Before they tucked into their meal, they all gave thanks for the wildest adventure they had ever had. Rested and relaxed, the bear, the moose, and the beaver were ready to set out for home. After taking a long look at the rapids, they decided to walk. And who could disagree with that? Hope you enjoyed your story from the trail. I love you very much.